You want crazy? Because I've got crazy. This happened a long time ago, back in my mid-20s. I knew a guy, a kind of casual friend, who was 21, and who had a girlfriend who was 17, still in high school. They had been together for about 2 years. We'll call him Steve, because his name is Steve. She lived with her mom, dad, and her brother who was about 2 years older than her and entering college. I'd met them, and hung out over at their house a few times, so I kind of knew them, and they were really nice people. So Steve used to be at her house almost every night. He, his girlfriend, and her parents would hang downstairs and watch TV for the evening, and then usually the folks would go upstairs to bed, and Steve and his GF would hang out a while longer, and usually have sex in the bathroom or on the living room floor. Normal stuff, really. Now her dad was a transportation coordinator for a large company, so he spent a lot of time on the road. When he was home from the road he didn't go to the office too much, he usually worked from home. Sometimes Steve's GF would be tired and go to bed shortly after her mom, and her dad would be working on his computer at a little desk in the dining room, and Steve would hang out on the couch watching TV. Okay, off to the races. Steve was into computers, so he and the dad would look at new games of stuff on whatever latest and greatest machine work had given him. One night Steve's down on the floor plugging something into the power strip, and when he comes up on his knees he can tell that his GF's dad has a massive hard-on. The dad pulls his sweats down and asks if he likes that. Most of us bail at this point, right? Nope. Steve starts sucking his dick, finishes the job, and goes home. So this becomes kind of a regular thing every month or so. He stays past GF and the mom going to bed, and he sucks off the dad. But wait, it gets better. He and the GF eventually move in together. One night he's dropping something off to his GF's mom, and the dad's on the road. The mom is in just a house coat, starts putting the moves on him, and he takes her into the downstairs bathroom, bending her over the counter and railing her. They start working this in when they can when the husband in on the road, and he can find a way to come over without the GF. Oh, we're not done, kids. Steve and his GF start hitting some rough patches, so he's over at the house talking to her brother, who I really liked. He was a cool guy, and fun to hang out with. I never really liked his sister too much, and was talking to him about what was going on with the problems in the relationship. Yep, they fucked. Now at this point you just be going, okay, this is clearly the most fucked up family on the planet, because you just know they're all fucking each other. That house has got to be the Grand Central Station of incest. Nope, when it all finally blew up, and it did, in a big way, it turned out that the only one that knew about any of the other ones was Steve, the guy who had been having sex with every member of the family. I started touring pretty heavily right around when it blew up, so I never talked to any of them again. When you live to be in your 50s, and you spend a huge amount of those years in a rock band touring the world, you see some pretty crazy shit. I definitely have some other crazy stories. But, damn, not really the craziest, but this my absolute favorite story in the world and it's 100% true. I've got 3 cousins who are birth siblings and were adopted by my aunt and uncle 20-some odd years ago. The oldest boy was maybe 6 at the time and the 2 younger sisters were maybe 3 and 4. They had just moved in and my aunt and uncle wanted to introduce them to some kids in the neighborhood from the Cook family down the street, so they set up a dinner date on the calendar. The oldest is just learning how to read and is the newest to the house. So he gets his sisters to pack their toys and they get caught trying to sneak out of the house. My aunt, who at this point is still a strange old lady these kids just moved in with, asks them why they're leaving, and the oldest asks her, why does the calendar say, cook kids for dinner? I can't imagine the fear 6-year-old me would have felt if my new mom had that written on her calendar, but the story is just so damn cute for some reason. When I worked at the Salvation Army, we had a regular called Teresa, a bearded man who wore pink tutus and would come in every day to see if we have Barbie dolls. One day, he came in very anxiously and asked for a razor. I told him we didn't have one and he started twitching and saying, I need a razor. Stop hiding them, just give me a razor. But with more cursing. When I tried to direct him,